Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nicole was holding a teddy bear while standing in the Demira living room. As soon as as he entered the room, Nicole told him Holly's condition had not changed. "Did you get everything you need?" EJ asked. With a nod, Nicole stated she had collected Holly's pajamas, favorite book, and favorite stuffed animal. G requested to discuss a matter before heading to the hospital. "I saw you and Eric together at the hospital. I didn't want to disturb you," Eric Johnson stated. "Why not?" inquired Nicole. G outlined his understanding that Holly had looked up to Eric as a father figure. "And I know you need as much support as you can right now," EJ stated. Nicole grinned. "Thank you. And I appreciate you understanding that right now," Nicole replied. While Nicole, twitching with anxiety, inquired as to if EJ desired to talk about. "I admit it was quite unsettling for me to see you in his arms, and EJ commenced. "Quit chatting," Nicole snapped. Nicole informed EJ that he should not be jealous of Eric. Nicole emphasized that EJ had realized that Holly's life included Eric. Nicole informed EJ that Holly had been hungover on Christmas morning, and Eric had provided her with moral support. "You knew Holly got drunk on Christmas Eve?" EJ asked. Nicole informed EJ that on Christmas morning, when she had checked in on Holly, she had found it. Nicole said, "How did you find out?" "Johnny told me. He said that she had drunk dialed him," EJ stated. G said that after that, Johnny had hurried home to see how Holly was doing. Nicole shot back, "And why didn't you tell me that?" G claimed he didn't want to annoy Nicole. As soon as when he questioned Nicole about why she hadn't told him, Nicole said that Holly had felt ashamed. She didn't want anyone to know, Nicole added. "But it was fine to tell Eric?" Eric Johnson asked. Nicole clarified that although she hadn't informed Eric, he, being in recovery from alcoholism, had noticed the signals when they had crossed paths in the town square. As soon as EG moaned and Nicole inquired as was the cause, G outlined how Rafe had spoken with Holly's school friends, who had verified that Holly had smoked marijuana. Nicole admitted, "I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. As am I. Her night of drinking caught me by surprise, as well. But I just chalked it up to a one-time thing," EG stated. Nicole concurred. Nicole sighed and acknowledged that she couldn't help but wonder whether Holly had been willing to try more potent substances. "The morning Holly was hungover. I saw her take pills that I thought could have been aspirin, but maybe not," Nicole recalled. G warned Nicole not to draw any hasty judgments. Holly was hungover. The logical explanation is she had a headache. She took aspirin for it. And experimenting occasionally with marijuana does not make her an addict, EJ stated. With a nod yes, Nicole said. "We also don't know if Tate is really using drugs. He's a good kid." Confused, EJ informed Nicole that Tate's relocation to Salem was a result of his misbehavior at the boarding school. "Kids do stupid things, and that just might include Holly," Nicole stated. Nicole went on to say that since drugs were prohibited and harmful, they were more than just foolish. Nicole said, "Maybe Holly isn't as honest and innocent as I thought she was." G and Nicole concurred that they were unsure of whom to trust. If Holly and her friends were taking a more powerful drug, do you really think they would tell the cops? "Do you really think Holly would tell us?" No way," Nicole responded. "I guess not," EG stated. Nicole said that she had been unaware that Holly might not have wanted to be open and honest with her about her issues. "I just never thought that Holly would resort to drugs," stated Nicole. Nicole gave EJ a shake of her head. She would meet him in the car, at which point she left. Dear God, could Tate have been telling the truth? Tate pondered out loud in exasperation. Eric took his seat by Holly's bed in her hospital chamber. "You've grown up so much. It feels like yesterday you were just a little girl." My little girl, stated Eric. Holly felt Eric's face. Eric sniffled and said, I just want to tell you how sorry I am, to Holly, recalling the first time she had called him Daddy. Eric explained that he had traveled to Africa because he thought it was the correct decision. But now I know that there was nothing more important in this world than you are to me. And being your dad, stated Eric. Eric sobbed as he kissed Holly's hand. Nicole instructed EJ along the hallway. She would speak with the nurse and then meet him in Holly's room. As soon as EJ, when he walked into Holly's room, he noticed Eric holding her hand. Eric remarked, I didn't want her to be alone. Eric said that the nurse had told him that EJ and Nicole had made the decision to come home for a while, so he had made the decision to stay till they did. Eric restated his conversation with EJ as Nicole entered the room with Holly's belongings. Nicole remarked, That's very kind of you. G made an attempt to exit the room, but Nicole informed EJ that she also wanted him to be there. You're Holly's stepfather, so please stay, Eric replied. Nicole put Holly's teddy bear down beside her and gave Holly's face a gentle pat. It's Mom. And we're all here waiting for you to come back to us, said Nicole. Gee, what had the nurse stated? Nicole was asked. No alteration, Nicole muttered. G informed Nicole that he had spoken with the Italian clinic that had saved his life. I really do think they can help her, EJ stated. Nicole said, Thank you for the call. Nicole expressed concern out loud that Holly would not be able to get to Italy safely. We'll take every precaution, EJ said. Guaranteed, Nicole. Nicole pledged to take the offer into account. Nodding, EJ turned to face Eric, thanking him for standing by Nicole and Holly. They both deserve all the support they can get. As do you, stated Eric. For Holly, Eric offered a prayer. Chad and Thomas were tossing a football in the park. As Alex went past, he paused to see Chad and his son. Chad stated to his son, I love you. I love hanging out with you. And I'm proud of you, okay? Thomas gave his dad a hug. Thomas failed to catch another pass that Chad delivered. When Chad called on Alex for assistance, Alex went to the bushes to get the ball and gave it to Thomas. My dad knows you, so I guess you're not a stranger, remarked Thomas. Glad to hear you're keeping your eyes wide open for strangers, Alex replied. Considering that he kept dropping the football, Thomas made a joke about his eyes not being open enough. Thomas received some advice from Alex on how to catch the ball. Thomas motioned for Alex to come along as she turned to leave. Alex gave her approval. Following their game of catch, Thomas played with other children nearby as Chad and Alex chatted on the park seat. How the hell did you know what to do as a parent? Replied Alex. You don't. But luckily their brains aren't as developed as ours, so they have no clue that we are just tap dancing our way through it, remarked Chad. Teresa has a teenager, and a teen brain is developed, Alex stated. It's debatable, Chad shot back. Chad inquired as to Alex's compatibility with Teresa's son. Alex shrugged and said he hadn't really spent much time with Tate. Given Tate's situation, Alex expressed doubt that he would get to know him. Chad remarked, Teresa must be a wreck. Alex nodded affirmatively, and he revealed that he had blown it with Teresa. Chad inquired as to how. I guess I crossed a boundary of hers or whatever. She kicked me out of the room, told me she wanted to be alone with Brady so they could discuss their son. Alex continued. Alex said that he was unaware of his part in the circumstance. Alex was urged by Chad to consult his father. Justin, that is, Chad explained. Unfortunately, he and I aren't on the best of terms at the moment either. Also my fault, replied Alex. Alex said that the information regarding Victor had confused him. I keep lashing out at Justin for no good reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just in my blood to ruin all my relationships, remarked Alex. After learning that Stefano was his father, Chad shared with Alex how difficult it had been for him. I came to terms with it, and so will you, stated Chad. Right now, I just want to do right by Teresa, Alex replied. Brady treated Teresa to a bar of her favorite dark chocolate, while they were being questioned at the police station. Teresa smelled the chocolate as she anxiously unwrapped it. I read somewhere that breathing in the smell of dark chocolate can actually help someone quit smoking, stated Teresa. Brady grinned and said that would be useful if they were smokers. I just keep thinking, what's Tate doing right now while I'm just sitting here, breathing in this chocolate, said Teresa. Teresa grasped Brady's hand and said she was dying in this circumstance. And I thought Tate being away at boarding school was tough, Brady said. Teresa concurred. Brady joked that he would create a jailbreak if he could figure it out. Brady emphasized that he had been kidding, and Teresa raised an eyebrow in response. Teresa sighed as she recalled all the times they had discussed the risks associated with narcotics with Tate. And I know that you and I have lived apart for many years, Brady, but we were always united on that front, added Teresa. Brady was questioned by Teresa if he believed Tate had broken any rules. It seems improbable, Brady remarked. But that would explain why he said it at first, and then he backed off. I hate to think it myself, added Teresa. Brady acknowledged that he had had the same thinking, and had even brought it up to John. Bottom line is we weren't there. We don't know, Brady stated. If going to boarding school had been a mistake, Teresa thought out loud. Brady admitted that he had given it some thought. Brady said, "He's been away from us a lot lately, especially me." Brady revealed that he had been questioning whether or not he really knew his son as well as he had believed. Teresa took Brady's hand in hers. "Did I miss a sign? Could I have prevented this somehow?" replied Teresa. Teresa wondered out loud if Tate was her genetic twin. Brady yelled, "No." Teresa pondered out loud, "Maybe I'm the one who failed our son. Maybe I'm the one responsible." Brady assured Teresa that she was not to blame. Brady remarked, "If anyone is to blame, it's probably me." Brady regretted not having been present more. "Tate knows how much you love him. He knows he can reach out to you anytime, and you'll be there for him," said Teresa. Brady thanked Teresa. Teresa sighed and said she could not stop reliving New Year's Eve. Teresa laughed and continued, "Tate was so excited to be going on a date with Holly. Do you know how hard he was crushing on her?" Brady said, "Crushing hard on her." Brady regretted not watching Holly and Tate throughout the celebration. Teresa replied, sobbing, "How did this go so wrong? How did this happen?" Brady took Teresa into her arms as she broke down in tears. Teresa joked that they had taken care of the parental guilt after she calmed down. "I know I give you a lot of crap, but I know that you have done the best that you can do with our boy." "I know that," Brady replied. Teresa laughed and added, "Thank you. That really means a lot. I know I've given you a lot of crap too. You really deserve it." Brady grinned. Brady was described by Teresa as a devoted and good parent. "We really have to stop beating ourselves up about this," Brady stated. Brady let Teresa know that they weren't flawless. "The best thing we can do for our son right now is believe in him and believe him. I know in my heart that our kid did not do this. That's what I believe," Brady stated. Teresa concurred. Teresa stated, "No more questions. Our son is innocent." Teresa and Brady swore they would never give up on their son. Kate met Lucas at the prison. "You're here after visiting ours, so how did you get them to let you in?" Lucas responded. Kate acknowledged that she had requested a favor. "The reason I'm here tonight is because someone wants to talk to you," Kate said. Harris entered the space. Lucas narrowed his brows and pointed out that Harris had shot hope when Kate introduced Harris. "I was brainwashed back then," Harris clarified. Kate brought up the fact that Harris had saved her life on the boat to Lucas. Lucas said, "So, you trust this guy?" "I do," Kate said. Lucas inquired as to Harris' needs. Harris identified himself as a Salem Police Department officer. Harris stated, "I'm here tonight to make you an offer." Lucas questioned, "What kind of deal?" Harris informed Lucas of the rise in Salem's drug problem. "I believe that whoever is behind this drug epidemic is right here inside this prison," Harris stated. Lucas was asked by Harris to assist in obtaining intelligence. Lucas remarked, "You have to be insane." Lucas maintained that it was dangerous to inform on anyone in Statesville regarding anything. "I know it's a lot to ask, but I also know that you were an undercover prison informant before," Harris responded. Harris mentioned that Lucas had contributed to Orpheus as well. Lucas said that he had thought Orpheus had murdered his mother and shook his head. "And you don't know how many times. I almost lost my life," added Lucas. Lucas emphasized that he was done being an informant. "I understand your reservations, I do. But maybe you'll change your mind if I tell you how I can help you," said Harris. Harris vowed to facilitate Lucas' release from prison. "I wouldn't even be here if I hadn't been assured that the right people in the right places would guarantee your release," Harris stated. Although Lucas acknowledged that the offer was alluring, he chose not to take a chance with his life. Lucas muttered, "I'm going to be a good boy and do my time." "That's it." Kate said, "You have your answer. Let's go." Harris sighed and got to his feet. Kate stifled her tears. "You're a good man, and you're a wonderful son. And as much as I miss you terribly, and your children miss you terribly, and all of us who love you miss you terribly, I understand your decision, and I respect it. I love you. I'll see you soon," said Kate. Lucas yelled at Kate and Harris to stop as they got up to go. Lucas answered, "Maybe I'll do what you're asking." Kate recalled with alarm that Lucas had provided a list of good reasons not to be an informant. "You told me that my family misses me, my kids miss me. What do you expect me to do?" "Of course, I want to get out of here. I want my life back," Lucas replied. Lucas suggested starting by asking questions. "No, because I don't want to see you the next one who gets shanked and carried out in a body bag. We're done here. This was a huge mistake, because we've already put him in danger just by being here," Kate replied. While Harris was giving Lucas advice on how to prevent fallout from their visit, he asked Kate to speak with the guard. Kate reluctantly went outside. Lucas asked, "You don't have any tips, do you?" Harris informed Lucas that Holly Jonas was unconscious after overdosing. "I need you to help me save kids like her. So if you do this, I will do everything to protect you," said Harris. Lucas consented to assist. Lucas wanted assurances of safety and that he would be freed as soon as he obtained the data Harris required. Harris promised. Kate turned back to Lucas and let out a sigh. "He convinced you. Damn it, Lucas." "Are you sure about this?" Kate inquired. Lucas expressed certainty. "I want to help kids like Holly, and I want to get the hell out of this place as soon as possible," Lucas stated. Kate urged Lucas to use caution. Kate scowled at Harris and said, "And you keep him safe." Kate told Lucas not to assist until she received a written agreement from her lawyer. Lucas nodded as Harris suggested that Lucas put on a show. "Why don't you guys get the hell out of here?" "The answer is no. I'm not a rat," Lucas screamed. Lucas exclaimed that he would sooner rot in prison than assist the police, and Harris fought back, saying, "You're making a big mistake. You want to rot. Rot." Harris and Kate left. Lucas cried out, "Don't ever come back here again," as Harris closed the door. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.